There are four timeless human skills that will help us navigate the age of AI. And the last one is the most important one. You see, we are living in a time where AI is actually creating a hype around everything. And many of us feel overwhelmed by the amount of things that we need to learn to catch up with this hype. But the most important question is that can we ever catch up with the speed of these changes, or are we mainly misleading ourselves by focusing and diverting our attention from where it really matters to the hype? I believe that there are four human skills that can help us navigate these really challenging times. Here they come. Skill number one, imagination. We are living in a time where for the first time in the history of mankind, input is much more important than the output. Throughout the history, in the agriculture age or in the industrial age, we always needed to focus on the output. Focus on the process, focus on the output to maximize what we get from the limited resources that we are putting in. But now with the power of AI, this is literally the first time in the history of mankind where the output is kind of secure. And we don't need to be worried about that because AI is actually optimizing that for us. Now, the most important thing for us is actually to secure and improve the input that we are giving to the machines. Now, what is the skill that helps us get there? That's imagination. With imagination, you can go beyond the status quo, beyond the existing kind of processes, and be able to unlock something that the machine cannot do by itself. That's still a very powerful tool that only humans are capable of. Skill number two, storytelling. I really love this quote by Yuval Noah Harari, where he says the main skill that separates humans and Homo sapiens from the rest of the species on planet Earth is storytelling. And why is that? Because with the power of storytelling, we manage to create movements and work in large numbers, and with that we manage to conquer the Earth, conquer our planet. That's the most powerful tool that we have as human beings. If you come to think about it, many amazing achievements such as creating governments, creating countries, creating money, a lot of other concepts, even such as religion. These are all concepts that we managed to create based off of our power of storytelling. I think this is one of the most important skill sets that we need to improve in ourselves to be able to navigate the challenging times ahead. The third skill is critical thinking. We live in an era where our attention is being engineered towards certain narratives that either corporates or governments or media wants us to believe in. If we need to survive this era, and if we want to be able to form an objective opinion and not be manipulated by the entities that I mentioned, we have to be able to improve our critical thinking skills. Now, critical thinking has several dimensions. There are lots of amazing resources that we can learn this skill from, but the most important thing is to believe that if we do not improve this skill, we will live in an engineered reality that the entities that I mentioned, corporations, media, and governments, will design for us, and they will create our life and our reality for us. And most probably even decide for us on the most important and existential questions that we might have. Now, the fourth one is the most important one in my opinion, empathy. Now, why empathy is so important? We live in an era where there is always a dichotomy between good and evil. There is no gray area. Everything is black and white. Especially the media wants to portray that there are those who with us and those who are against us. There is no spectrum here. There is nobody in between. There is always good and bad. Now, if we manage to have and develop the empathetic skills and be more empathetic towards each other, we will be able to see that the reality is always more nuanced. It's not true that there is always a good and an evil side. We have to be able to show empathy without jumping into judging and hating each other. So this is, I think, the only skill that will set us apart and again help us work collectively in large numbers and claim back our humanity. So if you agree with me, let's focus on creating these four human skills together.